Chess is a game of concentration and skill. Some may consider chess old-fashioned, but it's alive and well in Broome County this weekend. Today was the 5th annual Broome County Chess Tournament in Binghamton. Players from across the area stared at their pieces, calculating the right move. The tournament organizer calls today's turnout decent, but he says he misses the days when the competition was full.
But for sit-down tournaments like this, it's hurt the numbers a little bit because people can play online, but it's still the most popular game in the world, still.
The youngest player in the tournament was Raymond Wong. He's an 11-year-old from Ithaca. He isn't ranked yet, but his competitors say he's one of the best in the area and a player to watch in the coming year.
Madness, residents from all over the state and even Pennsylvania came out today for a different type of competition. Cordisco's Corner Store hosted its 5th annual Broome County Francis Cordisco Memorial Chess Tournament. Dozens of people of all ages participated in the all-day tournament. Owner John Cordisco says while chess is a very different type of tournament, it still holds exciting outcomes.
And it's great. Chess is one of those games where you can have an 8-year-old play an 80-year-old. And it happened one year where the 8-year-old actually beat the 80-year-old. And it's one of the few sports where age and physical size has absolutely zero to do with your ability.
Broome County Executive Debbie Preston and City of Binghamton Mayor Rich David made the ceremonial first moves. The competition will continue next Sunday, and anyone interested in joining can visit uschess.org.
Cordisco's Corner Store is hosting its 5th annual chess championship. The Broome County Chess Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial got started over the weekend. Organizer John Cordisco says it's an opportunity for chess fans, both experts and newcomers, to test their level of skill. There are 2 sections depending on level of play, and both have cash prizes for the top 3 winners.
We draw some really good players. There's some pretty good players in this county, and it's a very high quality chess compared to the number of people in the area. It's a great tournament, and I encourage people to come down and just to watch if they want.
The second and final round is this Sunday from 10 until 4, and it takes place at Cordisco's Corner Store at 308 Shenango Street in Binghamton.
Hi folks, John Cordisco back again with another great chess video for you. This is from round 6 of the 5th annual Broome County Chess Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial, held here in Broome County in upstate New York in Binghamton. Just want to make a quick shout out to my buddy, the Backyard Professor. Welcome back, Carrie. You were missed the last year. Anybody that gets a chance to watch his videos, he's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of passion. He's a good guy. Anyway, folks, this is round 6. I'm playing white. My rating is 1467, and a long-time player here at my tournaments in Binghamton is Tommy Seedor. He's from right outside of Broome County and Tioga County by Appalachian. He's rated 1634. Let's get to it. So when I spend all my time gabbing, I go D4, Knight C3. Time to go C5, and I decide to push the pawn. It's going to be a King's Indian technically, but it's going to be an interesting one. D6, Knight F3. He fianchettos the bishop. E4, castles. This move I wasn't really so sure about, to be honest with you. I probably should have went bishop to E2 and just put my bishop here. I decided to get a little fancier. I went bishop D3, and I wanted to guard the E-pawn as well. A6. Here's another move the computer didn't really care for that much. It says I should have went H3, which I actually thought about, so I wouldn't pin the knight. But I decided to go bishop to B4 instead. I've got my Fritz computer on off screen, and it's about a third of a pawn advantage for white. It's the same. Knight to D7. I finally castle. This is an interesting move, and Tommy found this over the board. It's the third choice of the computer, but all the choices are very close. Knight to G4. Now, there's a lot of things. It exposes the bishop on the knight, and also the knight is covering this key E5 square. I go H3 to kick the knight, and knight goes there. I play knight takes, I should have backed off the bishop to e2. I didn't. I played bishop takes. He played bishop takes. It says go back to e2 again. But I didn't want to bring my bishop here, then have to push my pawn here and have my light squared bishop hemmed in. So I decided to go f4. I decided, well, put a little psychological pressure on him. Let's go after him. That's sometimes when people do, especially at our level, to try to break him a little bit. He checks in with his bishop. I move the king. e6. I probably should have gone f5 immediately, but I decided to go queen to d2, just in case I had to move my knight here. This pawn wouldn't be in pre to the bishop. Queen to h4, that's a good move. I like that move. Psychological pressure on me. Now the queen's right in my face, especially my king's face. And the computer calls for d takes e6. Then bishop takes and then f5. I decided to try something tricky here. Let's do this. I went rook to f3. Now the computer really didn't like that move. I kind of like it. Oh well, the computer will have to get over it. The computer shows after d takes, b takes, f5, bishop d7 as the way to go. After rook f3, he goes bishop to d7. Now, the computer didn't like that move at all. It wanted to play e takes d5. Excuse me, wanted to play e takes d5. He didn't do that. He decided to connect his rooks. I went rook a to f1, rook a to b8, and I said I got fed up with that bishop being there. I had enough. Knight to e2. The bishop finally comes back. Now right now it's a tiny advantage for black. Less than a quarter of a pawn, we'll call it even. And I thought for a long time. Computer calls for several moves. b4, knight to c3, d takes e6. I decided out of heck with it. Let's go for it, man. Let's do it. f5, e takes, bishop h6. He hits my queen. At this point, things are starting to get really heated up here. And there's, of course, errors everywhere. We're not grandmasters. We're just amateur players that love to play. I went queen to c2. Of course, to get out of the attack of the bishop, but I also wanted to keep my queen as a skewer behind here for power, guard the b pawn, and I thought that was, he can't take. He can't take here or here, and he can't take with a bishop because I take and all hell breaks loose. Double rooks and his king's open, and so he's got some problems to solve, to be sure. Now I had considered this. The computer said go queen to a5. I had very, very much thought about that. It makes the score dead even. And after queen to d8, queen to e1, b5. I had thought about that, but I decided against queen to c2 instead. He went b5. I go b3 just to support the c pawn. He plays b takes. I play b takes. He plays a5. Now I think that was a waiting move for Tom, that a5 move. Frankly, I didn't think he knew what to do. He can't take here. There's no way he can take here, or his position just falls to pieces. What to do? What to do? Now I'm looking at position here. My queen and my bishop are doing a good job. I have my double rooks working, but the only thing that's not really doing much is my knight. It's not doing much at all. So I decided to move him. I go to g3. Now, the computer suggests instead I went to c3, and maybe I should have. So really I wanted to get to the square here. That way I control here. I'm hitting here and here. And it's just going to be brutal for him. But I went knight to g3 instead. He went queen to d4. Things are going to start heating up here very quickly. He played F. I played F takes. I couldn't think of what else to do. I had to open up his position somehow. He played H takes. Now, I'm surprised that I picked the first computer move, but it's also a sacrifice, so I'm kind of proud of myself. I played bishop takes g6. Now, Tommy's almost 200 points higher rated than me, and so my adrenaline was pumping pretty good. Now, this queen is working really hard. Guarding his bishop, guarding his pawn, guarding his pawn. She's pretty much overloaded, but after f takes, queen takes check. Computer only shows a tiny advantage for white. Now, I've got 2 pawns for a bishop. For those of you counting material. He comes back. Now, I think that was the proper move for him. And I'm thinking there's got to be a way to win this. I decided to play queen takes d6. The queen's not harassing me anymore. She's back on g7, guarding her king. What to do, what to do? He played the right move. Rook takes. Rook takes. This is black wins a piece, but I've got 3 pieces, or 3 pawns for the bishop. So I've got a lot of pawns here. If I can keep control of them, thinking, and maybe even pick up the pawn on c5, I'm going to be okay. His bishop's in prey. Soon, that queen is overloaded. The queen is guarding both bishops. Queen's overloaded. So, he plays a move I think is a natural for him. Queen to rook to b1 check. And immediately, he's doomed. Absolutely doomed. And here's why. It's a natural move to make. Until you can figure out what to do. Check him and, rook, king to h2. He should go back immediately to b2. Because that way, if he comes here, he's hitting the g-pawn, and this knight is frozen now because the queen will mate. And poor Tommy, I felt bad for him. He went queen to d4, threatening mate. It's mate here. What to do, what to do? Of course, it's the obvious move. There are plenty of good moves. Knight to e2 is a good alternative. Knight to f1 is another alternative. But I picked the best one, and that was queen to g6 check, hitting the rook. Tommy got flustered. It was a close game. This is where he resigned. Give you an idea. After check, bishop blocks, queen takes. And that's it. He's doomed. Got too many pawns, too many pieces. So that ends my tournament here. The other games I didn't do so well. I showed one I lost. And I'm going to show this one that I won. I'm kind of proud of this game, even though Tommy miscued at the end. I thought really hard. I probably played my best game. It's the highest guy in the section. So that ends the Broome County 5th Annual Broome County Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial, named in the honor of my youngest brother who passed away 3 years ago. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.